sharing your knowledge with others. So here I am. So I have some confessions to start. This was originally a 1-hour talk, and I found out late last week that I was going to give this session. So I cut out 45 minutes, and I have not rehearsed it since then, so I hope to do this well. If you're wondering about my accent, I'm originally Swedish, I'm half Danish, I lived in the Netherlands for quite some years, and now I live in Switzerland. If you're having trouble to understand what I'm saying, please speak up, and I will very gladly say it in another accent or another language. So I'm a leaper. I work at Leap, which is right around the corner, and I'm doing all the things basically. But mainly I'm a PHP developer, also using GoLang eventually. So there may be 1 or 2 Go puns in this talk, but let's go with it. You're just going to have to deal with it. So does anyone here know GoLang already? Great. Because you will not learn it in this talk at all. But if you do want to learn it, there's tour.golang.org, which is amazing, and it will teach you GoLang much better than I can. So does someone not know what I mean when I say serialization? Okay. Because I will use that word a lot, so I will explain it to the people in the room who does not know. So to explain what serialization is, it's when you want to convert from one format to another. So let's say you have PHP objects and you want to convert to JSON. That's the case where we use from PHP to JSON, from JSON to PHP. It's our case. There's a lot of other cases. You can go from XML to JSON, from JSON to XML, etc. Serialization is the thing that tells you how do I go convert this to that. So who already serializes things in PHP? Who uses PHP? About the amount of people who said they serialize things in PHP. Okay. So you will learn a faster way to do this. Even it takes a little bit more effort, but it's worth it. So I work with an API who has lots of data. So it basically tells us we're out of memory on 100 products, and I'm not gonna wait for 50 or maybe even 20. That was the problem we had. The API I'm talking about is for Micro, and we're dealing with all of the data. So it's a lot of data. And with this API, we had very advanced serialization needs. So we had different versions and different views. In PHP, which most people here don't know, we can simply use plain JSON decode and JSON encode. It says take this PHP object, turn it into JSON, and other way around, and it's pretty simple and pretty straightforward, and that's the majority of use cases that most people will need, I would say. That's cool and all. And in Symfony Serializer, we have more options and more things that we can use. And then in PHP, there's also this thing, better serializer. I will tell you, it's not better. It might be if we could make it work, but we couldn't because our data is too complicated. So then there's JMS Serializer. How many of those less than 10 PHP developers used JMS before? Okay, 1 or 2. But this is what this is what 99% of PHP developers need for serialization. And this is what I would definitely recommend if you ever need to use PHP for serialization. Use this. And don't use the thing that we invented unless you're having really complex, really big data. If JMS turns slow, go somewhere else. So JMS uses annotations in PHP, which means before every function you have a comment which says what you're gonna do. It has version support, which until and since, so it can say until version 3, show this field. Since version 2, show this field. It's very, very nice, and it's what we really need to use in our project. It has virtual properties. That means you can have some logic between for what you serialize. That's cool. And it works like magic. It's really magic with most frameworks, including Symfony, which we use. And this would be the configuration. If someone did PHP and Symfony, you would understand it, but let's skip that. The problem we encountered in PHP is that with JMS Serializer, it's this really, really, really awesome, beautiful code, object-oriented. But sometimes there's a bit of a bottleneck when you have object-oriented code who calls something, who calls something, who calls something. For just deserializing one product of Migro, we had to call this thing called visitor 62,468 times. How can that be performant if we have to call it over 60,000 times for one product? It can't. 62,468 times. If you want to learn more about JMS, read the docs. So, when we had tried all these PHP things, we had tried a lot of serializers in PHP. We had tried to optimize it in every way we possibly could. And we thought that PHP must be the bottleneck. We basically can't make it faster, but it has to go faster somehow. We can't let everyone wait every time they want something on the Migro app. We can't let them wait. So let's go for it. Yeah, I said that. So in GoLang there's this thing called Sheriff, and there's php-to-go, which a colleague of mine made. php-to-go is basically you take PHP models and classes, you read all of it, and you turn it into Go structs. So that's like JSON for GoLang. And so you say, okay, here's all the PHP code, turn it into JSON for GoLang. And this is how in php-to-go would look like. So first you specify where your models are, where you want them to be, and then you say what the package name would be. If you need to ignore some files in property names, you need to ignore because they're bugging out and you don't want that. And then you obviously want it to be verbose because you're debugging. Then you make a new generator and you generate. And here in this generate, you would generate all the Go code that you need to then call serialize on that. And this is how a model in PHP would look like. So you see, for instance, that this ID uses the serializer groups API. Yeah, so this is how one of the Go structs could look like. So you import sheriff, and here is the ID that we saw in the PHP model. And here is the function which says this is how you serialize it. So this was really, really cool to interface between PHP and GoLang. We started getting some kind of difficulties, but with GoRich it was pretty high performance. You can try it out yourself. It was pretty nice. There is a php-to-go extension, but it crashed about 70% of the time, so I would not recommend it. This is how you would typically use GoRich. So basically you make a new RPC with the port and the IP of your Go app. And then you can call any Go application. So in this case, we have our Go Serializer application running on the home IP with port 6001, and we call it app serialize. And then we call them products because that's what we want to serialize. And then products here would be the content, and it would be our JSON in this case. The JSON output that a GoLang application gives us. Very nice, very neat, very fast. It's awesome. So Go plus PHP was this kind of crazy love that we all in my team really, really liked, and we didn't want to let go of it. And sometimes crazy is good and crazy is beautiful, but it's a little bit of an unfair comparison, if we're honest. Comparing a generator to a serializer, it's not really fair, because this generator, it generates code and it tells, when we serialize, it has instructions exactly what to do. So it says do this, do that, do that. In JMS Serializer, it does everything on the fly. So it calls a function, that calls another function, that calls another function. That's really unfair. So what if we do the same thing in PHP? What can PHP actually do? So enter what we created, PHP object serializer. So the way it works, we have the same model with the same annotations. Then we parse all those annotations, and then we have a deserializer generator and a serializer generator. And then we get something like this. And this is extremely, extremely simplified. Because in a majority of cases, this would be over 200,000 lines of generated code that you cannot read. But this is simplified. So with this, we got an overall performance gain of 55%. CPU and IO both down by 50%, and memory gain of 21%. Pretty cool. So to wrap up, go crazy. Try new things, and sometimes you learn a lot. I don't think we would have learned much or pretty much anything unless we thought of trying another language that then inspired us to try to do the same thing in PHP. So when you're stuck, do something you didn't think of before, because now we can serve more than 100 products. That's pretty cool. It is cool.